I learned in school that human beings are the result of evolution. Then how do I make sense of the idea that human beings descended from heaven?
I went to the same schools. I also studied evolution when I was young. It fascinated me. Theories fascinate me. Science tells you that life is visible. That's where it all goes all over the place. That's it. That's the answer. Life is not visible. Bodies are visible. Without this energy which you call you, without the energy which you call a dog, without that energy which you call the cat, you are left with dead bodies. Dead bodies rot, go back to the earth. Life is invisible. As soon as you would understand this concept that life is invisible, straight away you would understand that body is not life. Body is a clothing on that life. Once you become spiritually realized enough, you know that life is invisible. All life is light. Light is alive. Behind every single thing which you experience, everywhere there is light. Everything. Everything is made up of light. Even science tells you that all matter is made up of energy. Ancient word for energy is light. There was a time when there was no matter, there was only energy. Energy became dense and turned into matter. I'll give you a very clear example. You boil the water becomes steam, but then it becomes invisible, and then the temperature affects it, and it becomes visible again in the form of clouds. So where did the water go when it was in between the steam and the cloud? It was there, but you couldn't see it. You just couldn't see it. It did not create any shadow. So these theories are not correct. If life ever got detected with any kind of technology, then you will understand how creation works. And creation works on principles. There are principles of light through which creation works. It's not a random event. There is no chance. The intelligence behind creation, let's call it God for a moment. The intelligence behind decided that man will have two eyes. That's why you have two eyes. If that intelligence is going to decide that flies are going to have 1,000 eyes, they are going to have 1,000 eyes. There is an intelligence at play here. So, in the story of the scriptures, it says that angels took pieces of dirt up on the seventh heavens, and God created man with his own hands. He put infinite amount of knowledge into man. Not all of his knowledge, but from your perspective, infinite amount of knowledge. As a home for light. That is what your body was designed for. This particular body which you call man is designed for the most evil being to the most purest being. That is the vessel which you call man. It is an incredible form of technology and knowledge, organic technology. The darkest of the souls, maybe the souls which scare even the highest of angels, can house this body, and no harm will come to this body. And the purest of the souls can house this body, and no harm will come to this body. So in this body can be a soul which will kill 1 billion people and carry that weight till the day it leaves the planet. And in this body could be a soul which becomes responsible for the salvation of billions of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? A dog's body is not built like that. A cat's body is not built like that. They are cages for the souls compared to the human body. Now, because this body was made to house such amazingly extreme beings, it was also given the gift of language to express yourself, to show everybody who you truly are from the inside. So this body is designed so that you one day will be revealed, so that you will know yourself. So obviously, look at this principle, know thyself. It's not know thy body, it's know thyself. People of old knew the place of the body and the placement of the self. They understood the difference between the two. So do not be confused by this medical improvement. Knowledge of the healing is different to the knowledge of creation. So advances of the knowledge of the healing is confusing you. That maybe healers of the day know more about you. They don't know anything about the self. They don't know anything about the soul. And they don't know anything about the spirit. So why are you listening to an engineer when he tells you how to cook food? And why are you listening to a cook when you have to fix your car? You should ask them the question about the subject which they are good at. So, human beings obviously are a different creation. Just like a dog, just like a cat, just like a fish. They're all separate creations. And yes, there are variations in them because of the spiritual energies of the land where they dwell. Immense variations are stored inside the body. So when you see those variations, so then you say, maybe after a while, I don't know, but maybe a dog can have 6 legs. Maybe it will evolve into something like that. That's materialistic thinking. And no, the dog will never grow 6 legs.
Then how can we make sense of the fossils that the archaeologists find of the ancient humans?
A time is coming on mankind, and very few of these days, what you call men, will be alive to witness it. But some will be alive. Most of this life which you see around you will die out, just like dinosaurs. And a new life will emerge out of the desert of the earth at that time. And it will be very different to the life which you see right now. You see, earth is energy. It's transforming all the time. You're seeing one transformation right now. The heat waves. Earth is again going through a process of transformation. All these different fossils which you pull out of the earth is the energetic transformation of the earth. And whenever it goes through that transformation, old life dies and new life takes its place. It's going to happen again. It happens over and over and over again. You are not the same as your father, Adam. You know through the scriptures that he was very tall. So what happened to you? The earth is transforming. There was a time on this earth where the energy of the earth was so supportive of life that people used to live for hundreds of years. Very diverse form of humanity was on this planet at that time. They were very strong people, very tall people, very intelligent people, different communities living at different places, even very small people. But then the earth transformed and could not support that kind of man. So the body became condensed. And now we look like this. And now earth is again going through a transformation. And in the next 200 years, it will be a very different world if you can travel through time. It's happening all the time. But because human life is so small, we only live for 60 to 100 years. So we think that this is the way it has been. But if you would live for 10,000 years, and if you could see human history, you would tell a man of this day and age a very different story of what man has gone through, even in size, even in shape. So your perception is locked up in this time. The scientists of your time, their perception is also locked up in this time. So they are knowing themselves. So they are gauging everything from their height, which is 6 feet. So they are saying, how is that possible that man was 18 feet tall? It's hard for them to imagine it. But nature is way too bigger than a man. You have no idea what nature can imagine. And not only imagine, has the power to implement. So, what you hear in ancient scripture stories are true. Those variations are because of the transformation of the earthly energies. matter and energy are very, very interchangeable very, very quickly. Water can be turned into wine, and wine can be turned into water. These are spiritual realities. They are very interchangeable. In ancient times, this was called alchemy. Some people wanted to use alchemy to bring about spiritual experiences, spiritual transformation. But look at the atom bomb. If it is not alchemy, what is it? It's the way to harness tremendous amount of energy out of just 1 kilo of uranium. You have to transform the uranium to bring about that explosion. So already science is using transformation. But as you know, they don't want it to heal the world. They want to use the transformation to destroy the world. So it's the same principle. Again, this planet is transforming.